She hopes Juli remembers the good times, a thrilling moment as Juli hangs the painting in front of her bed. Thinking of that tree, the tears have dried up. She understands that the tree holds her dreams, leaving a unique feeling in her heart. Her worldview begins to shift. She can't help but wonder if her feelings for Bryce are still the same. Excitingly, the school is hosting a science. Every student must showcase their projects, and July's is about hatching eggs. On display day, 6 little chicks break free and they steal the show. Juli rightfully became the champion of the fair. After this, she raised the chicks in her backyard, and before she knew it, they started laying eggs like it was her family had too many eggs. Neighbors eagerly paid for fresh ones. Juli saw their worth and stayed enthusiastic. She even delivered eggs to Bryce's house, only to be unexpectedly greeted by surprise. Bryce opened the door with a charming smile. She opened the door at lightning speed, her heart full of sweet affection. Juli left feeling on top of the world. She happily left, not knowing Bryce was frowning behind her, soon tossing the eggs into the trash can. Bryce's mentality was totally off sync with July's, and he felt more exasperated than anything else, a complete mess in his mind. She was annoyed by July's persistence, thinking Juli was like an obsessive fan. She couldn't understand why Juli always did such weird things, like hanging out in a tree. Does that tree have Wi-Fi or something? Bryce was completely clueless and uninterested, hearing his dad throw snarky remarks about July's messy yard. Every time she caught sight of July's family, she would make teasing remarks in a sarcastic tone, as if she were putting on a performance of bad jokes. Her disdain and superiority overwhelmed Bryce, making him feel in a home without material security. Juli seemed to gloat, but what was it that made Juli grab everyone's attention? Her photo in that tree made the newspaper and earned Bryce's grandfather's praise. Ever since Grandma passed, Grandpa became quiet. She boldly sought Bryce out for a chat today just to learn about Juli. Grandpa urged her to set aside biases and read about Juli in the report, but Bryce scoffed at the idea. Subtitles. She casually tossed the report aside, but inexplicably, she began to pay close attention to Juli, murmuring to herself in her heart that this was definitely not concern. Until Juli delivered the eggs, Bryce's family panicked, afraid those eggs were bringing home germs. They insisted Bryce return the eggs, but Bryce was too scared to speak, caught between the snarky remarks and her own helplessness. She was too scared to get close to Juli and ultimately tossed the eggs, thinking it'd end the issues. Little did she know, her lies would be found out, but her sincerity was ignored, leaving Juli deeply disappointed. She never felt miserable about her family's plight, though they lived in a rental. With no stable income, they also had to support an uncle who needed hospitalization. Juli understood they weren't wealthy. She proactively suggested using the money from selling eggs to beautify the garden. However, her parents noticed something was off, not wanting her kindness to affect their home situation. Her parents noticed she was acting strange, yet they wanted to provide her with a better life, terrified she'd get hurt. This prompted a fierce argument between her parents in front of Juli, giving her quite the shock. You still have to send the kids to school. This is the best time of their lives. You still have to send the kids to school. This is their prime time. Do you think I want to leave your brother so easily? Subtitles. He's even more important than your own children. Dad, stop doing this. Juli felt it was her fault, feeling heartache from the situation as Dad calmed down to comfort her. This is not your fault, Dad reassured Juli, as she candidly said that arguing doesn't mean breaking apart, but rather an opportunity to fix things. They said Juli has always been their pride, living in love, and Juli wants to give back to that love in her own way. So, she took it upon herself to tidy up the yard, not to prove anything to Bryce, but to make their home more beautiful. One day, Dad brought a gift to celebrate Uncle's birthday, and Juli insisted on tagging along. She saw Uncle locked in his room, excited like a kid when he saw Dad, but started getting nervous upon noticing the unfamiliar Julie. He relaxed only when he realized Julie was his niece. Uncle's emotions were always so extreme. He was easily satisfied, yet just as easily disappointed. Uncle, let's go grab some ice cream. No, no, no. Daniel doesn't like ice cream. We love ice cream. I'm totally joking. I know you love ice cream. Let's go. At the shop, Uncle eagerly licked his ice cream but dropped it due to clumsiness. In an instant, his emotions crashed. He desperately tried to grab the ice cream, panic in his eyes. I want my ice cream. Nothing else will do. That's my birthday gift. I promise you. Stop, stop, stop. I do promise you. Birthday gift. Juli realized how ordinary life was so out of reach for her uncle. His world was small, limited to family only, and he could only move around the hospital. Wanting ice cream was a luxury. To protect his tiny world, Dad had to sacrifice part of the family. Now Juli understood his choices. Subscribe and follow Juli's amazing life. More humorous moments are waiting for you.